Will, just what's just kind of the feeling going into this one with what all is at stake?
This is one we've been waiting for. Since SEC Media Day, all the guys have been talking about it. The questions came up, and it's finally here. So we're working hard to prepare for it, and we're real excited about this one.
What do you think about Texas' passing game as y'all watched the scout ball?
Yeah, it's real. They got a real nice scheme. Head coach do a good job of getting their receivers open and doing a lot of motions to get them free and undisguise the defense. So we just got to stay in our disguise, and hopefully everything plays out perfect for us.
What are the lessons you learned from the game last season, and including the build-up to that game? And what have you guys kind of thought? Just think back to that game.
Yeah, we really just got to lean on each other, play 4 quarters worth of football, just not make this game such a big special game, play how we done played the rest of the games, and we're going to be just fine.
You said you want to keep it the same, but do you feel like there's a little bit of intensity cranked up this week?
Yeah, this week it's always intensity when we play these guys, It's real important to us to come out and win this game, but we just got to stay level-minded and just play this game how we done played every other game, and we're going to be just fine.
Do you feel like there's a little more meaning behind it now that y'all played in this one last year?
Yeah, of course. It's all the history. Me being a guy from St. Louis, I don't know too much about it, but just what the guys from Texas talk about and the guys that played here, the coaches that played here, it's real big history with this game. So you got to attack it with all your heart, and just give it your all. But at the same time, you got to stay level-minded and just know what comes ahead.
As you've watched film, have you seen their passing game change at all, develop at all through the season?
Yeah, they do a good job of running the same route concept, but they get to it differently. You'll see a lot of the same routes, but they get to them differently, with the motions and everything like that. But, it's a real good job on their offensive coordinator and their guys of, developing their offense to make explosive plays.
Where does your pick 6 rank among your favorite plays you've had?
It's definitely my favorite play I done had, just a big game like that and the whole outcome of how it ended, that sucks. But, just living in that moment and being a part of it, that's a big moment for me for sure.
To that note, how much have you guys been kind of emphasizing trying to get more turnovers here these last few weeks?
Just doing what we doing. Emphasize more on punching the ball out and being more disruptive on defense. But we just gonna keep doing what we've been doing, and it's gonna come to us for sure.
Well, if you can speak for your whole team, how important is it for you guys to reach the SEC championship game, because you're already in the playoff, so you already got that one assured.
Yeah, like Coach Echo said, every game from here, it's a championship, So every game here, you want to win this one so we can get to the SEC championship and lock that spot in. And then, anything beyond that, we don't get no more chances. So you got to take every game like this Friday as important as it is, because it's a championship on the line. So that's how we're looking at it.
What would it mean to you to be a part of the team that takes A&M to their first conference championship since 3 decades ago?
It'd be amazing, me personally, my high school career, it got ended short because of COVID, so I never got to experience a state championship or anything like that. And so being a part of the SEC championship for a long time and recreating history here at Texas A&M would be amazing.
So you have a history of playing them even before A&M. So how long did it take you to decide you hated the Longhorns?
It took me the first game I played them at Kansas State. We were so close, and then that last play at the goal line didn't fall and come our way. So ever since then, I had a little hate built up for them.
How do you balance the emotion of a rivalry game, but not playing emotional during the game?
Just our preparation. How we prepare during the week. That just keeps us balanced, because we know what we're finna do. We know what we're finna get, so we're prepared for it. So we don't really got to tie into all the little details, and we just got to key into all the stuff that we know. So all the little rivalries, chitter chat, we just not gonna worry about it and do what we need to do.
Do you feel like this team's good at checking its emotions during a game?
Yeah, of course. A lot of our guys, we really done bought into each other and understood what's bigger ahead of us. All that little stuff in the game at that moment could really cost us in the end. So our whole goal is to play 4 quarters and just worry about what we need to do.
You talked about earlier about how the mantra was finish. To be one final game in the regular season, everything's still obtainable. Just what's that say about you guys' effort this year and just the focus?
It's really just giving it our all, you know what I'm saying? We know what this game has in front of us, and we know all the championships that's ahead of us. So we really just got to focus on this one, do what we need to do, and then it's going to fall in our hands.
How has Armajé stepped up, being a first-time captain, just as kind of a leader of this team?
Yeah, I've been knew he was a leader, since our little rivalry when he was at Kansas and I was at Kansas State. So him being on that O-line and him leading those guys, I always knew he had it in him. And just how he carries himself in the locker room is really big, he's always loose. He's never that guy that's going to be uptight and just be uncomfortable. He's real comfortable and makes everybody else comfortable. So, he's a great person to have on your team.
Was it a little weird the first time you saw him in this building, realizing y'all were on the same side now?
No, it wasn't that weird, but I talk about it every day, you know what I'm saying, that we beat him when we played at Kansas State and he was at Kansas, and I make sure he remembers it every time. So, nah, it's not weird at all.
I know the fans like the chair. What does it do for the locker room?
Oh, it's amazing. You know, like that chair has been through a lot. We done had zip ties put on it. I don't even know if it's the same chair. They done taped it, everything. That chair been through a lot, and just seeing Amaje carry it around, it's a good feeling and good excitement to the team.
How much conversation has there been for people, like you said, not from Texas or weren't in this game last year, to kind of lock in and tell them the importance of this one?
It's really about just being the togetherness as a team. You know, like if you care about the man next to you and he's from Texas and you care about the history of the program, you know how big this game is. So, you know, everybody's tied in together as a team and as a family, so everybody knows this is a big one.
That chair's starting to run out of space with all the stickers on it. Y'all got room for one more?
Yeah, we definitely got room for one more, and I know exactly where that spot's going to be at, so yeah.
Remember in camp you had talked about kind of the disrespect y'all felt about the Texas 8-4 jokes and all the predictions that had kind of kept y'all at 8 wins or something.
Yeah.
How vindicating has it felt to just crush those expectations and kind of prove a lot of people wrong this year?
Yeah, we're not shocked. You know, the guys here that's been putting in the work since the summer and then since the ending of last year, we all knew what we was capable of doing. But now it's just like that whole aspect of finishing. You know, like we're not really thinking about being 11-0. At this point, we're just trying to be 1-0, and we're going to be 1-0 Friday, and we're going to get it done.
What is it about this team that you guys have played so well on the road for the most part?
You know, just, you know, like the togetherness. You know, everybody stayed together, and everybody's been, you know, picking each other up. Nobody's been looking at one side of the ball, the other side of the ball, and blaming each other. Everybody's picking each other up, and we're leaning on each other to make plays. So when you get that in the locker room at halftime and stuff like that, you shouldn't be surprised when we come out and execute well. So.
Obviously, you didn't grow up with the rivalry, but was there a moment when you were like, oh yeah, I understand exactly what this means?
Yeah, definitely. Like with Coach Peterson, my DB coach, you know, he really sat in the cornerback room when we played him last year and broke down how important this game is and the history behind it. So just playing in it and hearing him talk about it really gave like the passion of how good this game is and how we need to execute and succeed on our end.
What were maybe some of the stories that he told you about his time playing in the Rivalry at A&M?
Really, we talked about it today, really just like how he had a bitter taste in his mouth when he was a GA here. I think it was 2011 when Justin Tucker made the field goal. So like he told me about how he felt like it was an iffy late hit call that led up to the field goal and everything like that. And he just like ever since then he had a bitter taste in his mouth. And then last year us not coming out with the the win that we wanted. So ever since then it's like I kind of feel for him and I want to bring this win home for him, honestly.
Are there any teammates who've been extra vocal this week about what it means to them?
Honestly, a lot of the guys here, we're not really overdoing it. We're just taking it as another game, and we got to do what we're supposed to do, and we're going to get the outcome we want. So a lot of guys, it's just really regular, like a regular practice. We're not overemphasizing anything. We're just doing what we need to do, and we're going to get the outcome.
How do you think Dalton has elevated the secondary, and what has led to kind of? It seems like he makes a big play every game now.
Yeah, that's Dalton Brooks. I've never been shocked by it. Like it happens every day at practice, and I just feel like us being in this scheme second year, it's just he's more comfortable and like he's seeing everything perfectly. Like he's getting his reads right and then he's trusting it. So that's all it really is, just being comfortable in the scheme and trusting what you see. So and that's how he comes down with plays, and that's Dalton. So that's nothing surprising to me.
Couple more.
So you got a nickname yet?
Nah, they haven't gave Dalton a nickname yet. He really a quiet guy, honestly. So I'm gonna give him one after we win this one Friday. I'm gonna give him one for sure.